Hello gamers and gamesters, I'm Vancha and I'm back today with a new collection video, and today it will be for the Game Boy Advance. Yes, this is a pink Game Boy Advance. This was actually my very first Game Boy Advance. My uncle saw this one when it was new, recently released, and he thought, oh my god, it's a clear red version. I will so buy this for him because he loves red, only to see that it's actually pink. All in all, it didn't mind me. The games were the main topic, of course, of interest for me. And I played so much of it that I actually, well, kinda broke it due to too much gaming. My arrow keys are dead weights actually. And other than that, well, it doesn't boot up anymore either. Next to this, I also got a silver platinum edition of the Game Boy Advance for free recently. Someone didn't want it anymore, so I was glad to pick this one up. Other than this, I also have the classic NES Zelda edition, classic NES Nintendo edition, Zelda edition, no. And this is the inside of it. Screen glare there, no worries. I actually picked this one up because of the fact that this one kinda didn't work anymore. And recently, I've also picked up a Game Boy Micro. Now this thing is very small, perfectly fits into any of my pockets, and I actually absolutely love it. When I play Game Boy Advance games, then I always pick this one in order for me to play on it. So these are my Game Boy Advance systems. Now for the games, I have about around 50 games here. So let me just get to it, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. So let's just show them off, shall we? I have V-Rally 3. Gotten this one for free with the Platinum Game Boy Advance. I have Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe it was a Dungeon Dice Monsters. This was a spin-off of the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Line. I really did like it. It's more of a puzzle game rather than a card game. I have Star Wars Jedi Power Battles, not great, not recommend. Tekken Advance, quite a decent fighter for the Game Boy Advance, although you only have 2 face buttons to do the combos with. I've gone Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, a remake of the Super Mario Bros. 3 game, obviously pretty good. Rayman Advance. This is a, well, not bad for a Rayman game, but there are definitely better games out there. Army Men Advance 3DO. No, it is made from 3DO, sorry. Not bad, it was a top-down shooter. Could have been better though. Power Rangers Time Force. I mean, I picked this up because I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. And it's a nice side-scrolling beat-em-up. I have Advance Wars. I spent about more than 100 hours in this game. Not only the campaign was fabulous, also the free battles were great to play, and I've also made a ton of maps for this one. I really hope Nintendo will go back to this series in the future, either for Wii U or the 3DS. But for now, well, all I can do is pray. I have Rainbow Six Rogue Squadron. No, Rainbow Six Rogue Spear, sorry. It was a top-down Rainbow Six game. If you like this kind of games, well, it wasn't bad, but to me it didn't really interest me a lot. Downforce, this is some kind of Formula 1 game. F-Zero Maximum Velocity. I've played a ton of this game. There was another game as well for the Game Boy Advance. I also have it. Where is it? Where is it? I have too many games here. Oh god. I will get to it later. I've played a lot more of this one, especially multiplayer. It's just awesome with the link cables. I have Wario Land 4. The Wario series is also a great 2D side-scrolling series of Nintendo. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. This is one of the best Final Fantasy Tactics games out there. And I've also played a ton of this. Top Gun. It's crap. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And I believe I also have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. These, in my Game Boy Color collection, I've told you that the Harry Potter games were RPGs. Great ones also. These are the normal adventure type games that you come to expect from movie games. And when you compare the two, these are really inferior to the Game Boy Color versions. Super Monkey Ball Jr. This was awesome on the Game Boy Advance. Looked very impressive as well. And I really hope that this series will continue in the future. Although Sega is not really doing a lot with their franchises lately. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Again, same as Tekken Advance. Not all superb for a side-scrolling game. For a 2D beat-em up on the Game Boy Advance due to only having 2 face buttons, but it was decent. Mega Man Battle Network. A spin-off of the Mega Man franchise, an RPG where you have a boy in the real world, and Mega Man is a robotic figurine in a data world, in a computer world. It had fairly nice graphics, and also actually enjoyed a lot of this. The combat in it was really fun. Of course, they made a ton more lately. Also another spin-off series as well, named Star Force, but I'm mainly interested in the Battle Network franchise. Call McRally Rally 2.0. I've played a lot of this. Actually, for a rally game, this was very good for the time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Well, Tony Hawk's was all in that time, so I went to pick one up as well. Of course, the franchise is a lot better on the PlayStation. Crash Bandicoot XS, or extra small, extra sized, no idea. Not bad for Crash Bandicoot game, of course, can't compete with the PlayStation games, of course, but all in all, not bad. It was a 2D platformer. I have Doom 2, and of course also the first Doom. These are actually quite decent, well, actually quite great shooters for the Game Boy Advance. Due to not having to aim your gun up and down, this was actually very fun to play as well. There is also Wolfenstein for the Game Boy Advance. I do not own it, but if you have that, you can compare it with that as well. Disney Sports Football. You can compare it with the Mario Football series. Only then with Mickey Mouse and Goofy and all his other friends. Not bad at all. Tweety and the Magical Gems. This was I believe a launch title for the Game Boy Advance. And also my very first Game Boy Advance game. This is mainly a game like Mario Party, where you have boards that you have to traverse with, and you have to do all kinds of puzzle games while you play with Tweety, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. All the Looney Tunes are in there. Metabots, the Metabee version. I believe I have another one here as well. Can't really find it, whatever. The Medabots, they made two kinds of Medabots games on the Game Boy Advance. One is a RPG, I believe that this was the RPG, or I can be wrong. The other one was a 2D fighting game, a little bit like Smash Brothers, you could say. But the RPG series was actually very fun as well. It had a very unique combat system, a turn-based combat system, at least for its time. Actually, when you think of it, the combat system in the RPG series is a little bit comparable to the Final Fantasy XIII combats that you have right now. Then, of course, the best, or some of the best games on Game Boy Advance are Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age. These are the best RPGs on the Game Boy Advance, and also one of the best looking games on the Game Boy Advance. It had a great amount of artwork in it, the story was interesting, and also the battles were superb for its time. The sequel for the DS, in my eyes, it wasn't that great when you compare it to these two, but it was decent as well. Mech Platoon, and here we have an RTS for the Game Boy Advance. And yes, a full-fledged RTS, where you have to start with workers, and you have all kinds of attacking units, bases that you can build, and, well, everything you could find in a regular RTS for the computer. Quite a decent game, by the way. You also have Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku 2. It's a top-down action-adventure starring Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Piccolo and Gohan that are playable. There was a first and a third one as well. I believe I do not own those anymore, sadly. The first one was kinda crap, it only went from the Saint Saga to the Frieza Saga. This one only spans the Android and the Cell Saga, but this one is visually way more impressive. The combat is a lot more fluent, and all in all, well, it has a way better leveling system as well. Mario Kart Super Circuit, well, what do I have to say? It's Mario Kart, it rocks. Midnight Club 2 Street Racing. Or rather, no, just Midnight Club Street Racing. Quite a decent game. It was a top-down view street racer. X-Blades, inline skating. Well, yeah, inline skating. Another great RPG is Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. This is probably also in my top 5 RPGs for the Game Boy Advance. The Mario & Luigi series is great, it's terrific, I love them, and of course they are also very fun, and a lot of jokes are in here as well, and puns to other games. I love it. Ah, here we have it. F-Zero GBA Legend, the other F-Zero game for the Game Boy Advance. This one actually had more of a story mode in it as well. I must say, I didn't play this one that much. It came out kinda late in the Game Boy Advance life cycle, so I was already looking forward to the Nintendo DS at that time, I believe. Two other great ports of RPGs are Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire 2. I love these games, especially the fact that you can turn into a dragon while playing. I really hate the fact that I believe it was Capcom now may announce a Breath of Fire game for cell phones. What? Okay, why not? Oh god. Disney Sports Basketball, same as the football version of course, also wacky. You can of course compare it to the Mario Basketball series. Crazy Taxi, Catch Rides. Quite a decent Crazy Taxi game, if I have to say so myself. Of course, two of my other favorite games are Zelda 4 Swords and Zelda the Minish Cap. great games. I absolutely love the Minish Cap. Broken Sword, which one was it? The Shadow of the Templar. A great point and click game, actually. If you like point and click games or adventure games in general, this one is one of the best ones for the Game Boy Advance. Konami Crazy Kart Racer. No, just Konami Crazy Racers. A little bit similar to the Mario Kart series. Although it does have a battle mode as well, which you can play with the actual NPCs. So you do not have to own multiple copies, or you do not have to link up multiple systems in order to play multiplayer. International Superstar Soccer, football game. I mean soccer game, whatever. Driver 2 Advance, not bad. The graphics of the city are pretty decent, the cars as well. The character that you play with though is, oh, kinda pixelated ugliness. All in all though, let's say that is the GTA for your Game Boy Advance. Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. I didn't really like it, to be honest. The Lord of the Rings games on the consoles are a lot better. Lego Bionicle. And same thing. For a Bionicle game, maybe yes, if you're a heavy fan of it, you could pick it up. Otherwise, nah, not that great. Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Championship. Worldwide Edition. Damn. This is the Stairway to the Distant Jewel. This came out in, I believe, 2001 or something. Yes, 2001. When Yu-Gi-Oh! Really came up in popularity. I loved this game. Played a ton of it as well. And after that I actually didn't really play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games anymore. Well, hype was over. Sonic Advance 2. Great Sonic game for the Game Boy Advance. The Game & Watch Gallery Advance. Of course, all the Game Boy Advance, Game & Watch classics bundled into a card for the Game Boy Advance. Also, it did feature new graphics. It was made with the regular Nintendo vibe, Nintendo colors in them. So it's not, well, pixelated like the actual Game & Watch games out there. Another great gem on the Game Boy Advance was, to me, Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder. Let's say that this is the Zoo Tycoon for the Game Boy Advance, but of course with Jurassic Park in it. I loved it a lot. Especially the fact that you can look for more fossils in order to clone new types of dinosaurs with the DNA systems that you have in the game. And then you have Shining Soul. To me it's not a very great action RPG, but it's nice to have. Spyro, the Seasons of Ice. There was also the Seasons of Flame, I believe, but I do not own that one. Pretty decent game of Spyro for the Game Boy Advance. It's also with a top-down view. Jurassic Park 3, the DNA Factory. This was a side-scrolling game, came out together with the movie, and when you compare it to the Park Builder, this one is kinda crap. The Sims Busting Out. I haven't really played a lot of Sims in my life yet, but all in all, The Sims Busting Out was a pretty decent spin-off series, and at least something fresh for the series as well. Then you also have Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. A bit the same as Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Same type of action, also top-down, a little bit of action-based adventure. It was, to me, it was a little bit better than The Fellowship of the Ring, but nah. Well, there are better Lord of the Rings games, like I said. WarioWare Inc. This was a great mashup of minigames, and since then I loved the WarioWare franchise. The only one that I didn't like was the Game & Wario game that came out recently for the Wii U. That was really a mixed bag, but more about that game in a next video. Then you also have Sean Palmer, Pro Snowboarder. Not really great. And my last two games, of course, I had to have them as well, are Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Fire Red. I'm still searching now for Pokemon Leaf Green, Emerald and Sapphire as well, but for now I have these two. Recently I've been checking the Twitch Plays Pokemon, or at least I've been following it as much as possible. And as of yet, I think I'm going to play this one again on my Game Boy Micro. So let me just put it in and boot it up, and as you can see, yes, the screen is still terrific. I'm Vancha, and thank you for watching. Next time I'll probably do the my DS collection, I believe. But if you do have any suggestions for Game Boy Advance games for me to pick up, please let me know in the comments. See ya.